YouTube, how's it going? Frog Jingles back with some more 2018-2019 NFL season predictions. I predicted Offensive Rookie of the Year, who would be most likely the Rookie of the Year. Now for this video, I'm going with the Defensive Rookie of the Year in my opinion, my predictions. How will they play? Maybe it's not the obvious guy. Kind of got some wild cards here, but we're going to go through it. Let's do it. Some wild cards. Started off, Vita Vea. I mean, he was double teamed a lot these last few years, so production wasn't there. But now that he's at the NFL level, maybe they're not worried about double teaming a rookie. So maybe we know he's going to get the tackles. Maybe some sacks come along with it. So does it look pretty good on the stat sheet? And then does that give him Defensive Rookie of the Year? We will see. Davenport to the Saints, maybe a little bit. Some people think it's a little bit of reach. I don't know if it's much of a reach in terms of the pick, but they traded away a future first. That's why I didn't like it. But bottom line, he's a good football player. He's a good pass rusher, a lot of potential, but mainly the Saints are very, very high on him. I don't think they just traded away that just to have this guy sit around. So this guy can be opposite of Cam Jordan early on here, and he can get some sacks because I think they're going to be more worried about Cam Jordan, Rankins, Davenport. It could open up for him. We'll see if he can do something. Then Rashad Evans, I think, is an instant starter, so that's why he should be on here. He'll get the opportunity. He could be used in blitz packages, so I don't know if he'll light up the stat sheet production-wise because they do have other really good players on that defense. Does need to learn a little bit, but he's a heck of a football player. On to some corners that I don't have. I eventually did a top 5 here. Some of these corners that I wanted to put in the top 5, but I didn't. Mike Hughes is not pictured because the Vikings already have really good corners ahead of him, so maybe he doesn't get a lot of playing time, even though he's a very good football player. Can return, though, so maybe he's up there because of his returning game. But the two Packers guys, I mean, Jair Alexander gets to the football, and Josh Jackson led the nation in interception, so he gets the football. I think one of these guys is going to light it up. Who's it going to be? They do have Kevin King in there, so maybe Josh Jackson doesn't get the opportunity right away. But I know he can play. I know he can get his hands on the ball, so these guys have an opportunity. Denzel Ward is the #1 corner on the Browns. He's going against some really good receivers being the #1 corner. So he's going to have his chance. He's going to struggle a little bit against these receivers early on. That's okay. It's expected. But if he does pretty solid, watch out for this guy. Maybe not Marshawn Lattimore. Different maybe size and style of corner, but in terms of covering #1s early on in his career and showing out in his rookie year. So we know Denzel Ward can play. But on to my top 5s, I'm going to break down. Starting with Roquan Smith to the Bears. I mean, the Bears got a pretty solid defense, but I think it's pretty balanced. That's why it's solid. They don't have like a standout guy. Maybe Akeem Hicks, maybe Trevathan if he's healthy, Leonard Floyd if he's healthy, but there's really no standout guy. Roquan Smith is a captain, a leader, a play recognizer. He can come in there and really lead this defense right away, and because of his awareness and his instincts, reading plays. I mean, he's not going to light up the stat sheet besides tackles. That's why I don't have him at 1s. Maybe the sacks aren't going to come into play. Tackles for loss will. But for all those reasons, he can stand out early and be a leader on this Bears defense. So he comes in at number 5. Number 4 is going to be another linebacker I really like, Tremaine Edmonds. A very freakish, athletic linebacker, as everyone knows. Will play right away on the Bills. They needed a linebacker. Difference between him and Roquan Smith, I think Edmonds can bring more sacks to the table. Maybe that's not always the most important thing for the linebackers, but for winning Rookie of the Year, that's how it is. It's going to show up on the stat sheet. It's going to show up more. People are going to remember him. So I think he can bring some sacks to the table. Just as many tackles lost as Roquan Smith. So they're pretty even for chances, but I gave the edge to Edmonds because of maybe more sacks. Top 3. This is where we're getting to the big time, guys. I think I have a legit shot at winning this. Maybe some more sleepers before I get in the top 3. Jesse Bates, you know how much I like Jesse Bates. He can light up the stat sheet, interceptions. Maybe he can return them for 6. Maybe some more wild cards. Rasheem Green, I think, might get a lot of playing action for the Seahawks. Kamoko Ture from the Colts, he's going to start right away. He might get some sacks. So some guys I forgot about, forgot to mention early on in this video I want to throw out there. So I wouldn't guarantee these guys, but these are the big name guys up here. But number 3 is going to be Minkah Fitzpatrick on the Dolphins. Whether he's going to be your nickelback, your safety, your corner, he's going to start somewhere. He's going to play a lot somewhere. Very instinctive player, great awareness. He's going to get some picks. He's going to get some sacks. He can get after the quarterback too. Very smooth player, going to make everyone else better. and it's going to show up on Sunday. So he comes in at number 3. I think he's got a legit shot at coming in here, getting the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So on the top 2, kind of went with my gut feeling, just like the offensive one. I know Saquon Barkley most likely is the guy. I can agree with that, but I kind of went with a feeling I have on that one, and I kind of did with this one. My number 1 player in the draft comes in at number 2, Bradley Chubb. I mean, he's got to be the most likely guy here, but he's going to be very good in the run game. Guarantee that. Pass game, can he get after the quarterback right away? I don't think it'll be a problem. Maybe it won't light up the stat sheet. Got plenty other guys in the Broncos defense that will also light up the stat sheet. But does that help? Does that mean he'll get more sacks because teams are worried about Von Miller on one side? So he's coming off the line, gets after Derek Wolfe on the other side as well. So does that give Chubb a better opportunity? Possibly. I think he's going to be excellent in the run game. Excellent. Pass game. If we don't see a lot of sacks right away, don't get worried. But I think we will see some. But, Broncos known for their defense, so it's a good place for Chubb. Obviously, chances are he may be the winner as we sit right now. But I got a feeling about somebody else. So my pick right now, maybe one of the better steals of the first round of the draft, is Derwin James of the Chargers. Now, they needed a starter. No matter if you needed a starter or not, he's a plug-and-play starter right away. Very athletic. And here's the thing. He's kind of known as one of those shutdown safeties, run support safeties, but he's not going to get beat either. Some of those run support safeties get beat a little bit like guys behind him. He's not going to let that happen. He's not going to get a ton of interceptions. But I'm going to tell you why he is going to get a good amount of interceptions, why I think he is. That Chargers defense is pretty darn good. And you got Melvin Ingram. Joey Bosa is getting even better. Got some other defensive players from the draft in there. So those guys are going to be getting after the quarterback. I think it's going to, and Verrett's going to be locked up. Desmond King played well last year. How do I forget about Casey Hayward? Should mention him first. Defensive backs looking good. The corners looking good. So I think that's going to force Derwin James to get the interceptions. The pass rush has got to be there. I think it will be. The corners got to be locked down on the sideline like they normally are on that team. And I think it's going to cause some interceptions for Derwin James. Even if he doesn't get those interceptions, he gets a couple, and he's lights out. Reading plays, even if he's somewhat beat, guy gets the hand of the ball, he lights him up, incomplete pass. It's going to show up. It's going to show up on Sundays if you watch the games. I'm a big Derwin James fan. He's my number 5 player in the draft. They get him down at, what was it, 17, somewhere around there. Very impressive. Again, Bradley Chubb could very easily win it. Some of these other guys can win it. Jesse Bates is like my favorite player of the draft. He's on the Bengals. They better start him. He's a playmaker, so I expect him to compete here. But the reason he's not, because I don't know if I sure hope they start him right away. They do have some decent safeties kind of on the decline, though. Aloka was once playing at a very high level. Maybe Aloka and Jesse Bates is what they got. We will see. I wanted to include him on this list, but did not. I'm feeling Derwin James, just like my offense one. Kind of went with my gut feeling there. So that'll do it for this one. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm always curious to see. Give me a top 5. Give me who you're just really feeling at number 1. Maybe it's Bradley Chubb. Maybe you're feeling somebody else, somebody on your team that's going to step up. Maybe it's a mid-round guy. Never know. Never know. I mentioned Rasheem Green. Was he 3rd round? I think he'll get a lot of action. I mentioned Kamoko Toure. I think he's going to start because the Colts need a pass rush all over the place. He's pretty good. He knows how to get to the quarterbacks. Got some good moves. Another guy, Harold Landry. But if I was confident he would start, I think the Titans are going to go Arakpo Derek Morgan right away. Harold Landry will get his action. We will see. You always see some of these rookies. Sometimes they rotate in off the bench. They get some good sacks. I remember Daniil Hunter from the Vikings. I think he was a backup right away, and he might have led their team in sacks 2 years ago. So you never know. Maybe some of these guys are better coming in off the bench, getting a snap or two coming off, staying well rested early on in their careers. So you never know. Maybe it's one of those pass rushing D linemen. We will see. I just can't wait for the season. I can't wait. Thanks for everyone's support. I know you guys can't wait as well. We're growing a lot thanks to you guys. We're trying to get 10K subscribers. It's a long way to go, but we've been growing. We're going to keep on doing it. We're going to keep on bringing this content. We got a lot of stuff planned in the near future leading up to the season. A lot of predictions, a lot of team-by-team breakdowns. So stick with us there. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. That'll do it. Goodbye.